This is how I healed my inner child from dressing like my inner child would love for adult me to dress. When we think about our inner child, we have to remember one thing. Our inner child is not just our 2-year-old self, it's not just our 5-year-old self. It's also our 10-year-old self, and most importantly, actually, it's also our teenage self. Our teenage self is still a child, and that version of us still needs to be recognized. And the reason why leaning into how you used to dress as a kid, and even how you used to dress as a teenager, how you used to express yourself, is so important for healing your inner child is because you are leaning into the version of you that you might have tried to suppress, you might not have tried to get close to. With the inner child, the little kid that is like 5 years old, it's very easy to say, oh, of course I'm gonna hug this kid, of course I'm gonna embrace them. Of course they deserve to exist. But a lot of the times, what we end up suppressing is our teenage self. We don't embrace them. We don't hug them. We shame them. We say, that's our old self. We're not dealing with that. I didn't do anything right, blah, blah, blah. What happens then is that all of those frustrations that we were dealing with, they come back tenfold because we're not saying we're whole. We're saying, my teenage self, I don't care about. And then it's literally like the big kid in the family who is being overlooked for the little kid. And if you're a big sister, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's exactly what you're doing to yourself when you're saying, I'm going to focus on the little kid, I'm going to heal my inner child, but I'm not going to heal my teenage self. Because that teenage self is still a child. That teenage self wanted love more than anybody, but they didn't ask for it because they wanted to be tough. They wanted to show everybody that they can handle it themselves. Maybe they had some things that they were going through. Of course they had, because they were changing. Everything was happening around them. They were trying to pass high school. They were trying to do all of this stuff. Your teenage self is as much a part of your inner child as the little kid is. That's the first thing you're going to understand when it comes to healing your inner child. This is something that I learned recently, and it's a big revelation for me, and it's really made me understand much more about healing my inner child when it comes to using my style. I am someone who, as a little kid, all throughout my whole life, actually has been leaning very much into dressing specific ways. I would wear fairy wings, I would wear princess gowns, I would wear, my mom would make me wear blue tights and I would tell everybody that they were red. I definitely was an opinionated fashion kid. I was so into dressing in specific ways, trying new things, trying new hairstyles, all of this. And I had so much fun with it, just experimenting, because I was literally doing it just for me. I didn't care if anybody and their mom was telling me that it was wrong. I literally told my mom, I'm wearing red tights when they were blue, or vice versa. I was doing it for me. And that's the one thing we have to remember. When we do things, we have to do them out of the happiness that it brings us. If it brings us happiness, that is something that can bring you momentum when it comes to manifesting your dream life. And that's essentially what we're trying to do when we're trying to heal our inner child. We're not doing it just to heal our inner child. No. We're doing it because it serves a purpose. And when we heal our inner child, what we're doing is that we're trying to create a whole version of ourselves. And what we're saying when we say, I actually lean into dopamine dressing, like dressing in a way that made me happy, make me express myself, and leaning into trying out new things, then you're actually telling yourself, it is okay to express myself. I don't need to do it because I want to perform. I don't need to do it because I'm trying to be edgy. I'm doing it because my inner child would love for that. She wouldn't care. But even more so, you need to do it for your teenage self who is trying to find themselves. And that's the one thing that I've been leaning more into. I used to be the type of girly who was always dressing in like black and white, and for at least for a while now, I've been dressing in like black and white and like quote unquote boring colors. And definitely wearing boring colors will definitely get you less attention. That's very clear. Like if you dress very posh, very classy, all of this and all of that, and you can also do that if that's what your inner child is literally calling for you to do. But sometimes that is really good for when you're going through healing mode. But when it comes to you getting to that happiness level where you're literally channeling the version of yourself that is going to carry your past self and say, I am whole. I'm not shaming my past self. I'm holding my past self. I'm saying you did good. You did good, teenage me. You did good. What you do is that you tune into dressing in a way that expresses that you hold them. And I used to dress like a Pokemon trainer when I was a teenager. And I'm not necessarily going to dress exactly like that again. But one thing I've noticed is that I am more prosperous. I am more I attract wealth. I attract so many things, opportunities into my life when I dress in a way that express that I am a very giddy, I'm a very like can't sit still type of person. And I didn't get that correlation until recently when I was like, you know what? I've been dressing in like black and white and it's been all good and it's been all but there's something missing. Because I do have 57 tattoos. Like, I didn't get these 57 tattoos for no reason. I like to express myself. I like to go out and do things. And I was like, okay, so what is that version of me, the old version of me that used to dress really, really colorful? What are they trying to tell me? They're trying to tell me that you should just go out and do whatever it is you want. And you should not do it. But the healed version of me, the older version of me is actually telling me you should do it, not because of everybody else. You should do it because you're proving to yourself that you can hold everything. And that's why we've been leaning into more colorful stuff. And I'm saying we, because I'm acknowledging my inner child. I'm acknowledging teenage me. I'm acknowledging baby me. I'm acknowledging kid me. And I love how it makes me feel to lean into colors. I went to the thrift store today, or like the vintage store, and I got the shirt. I was like, I need to get the shirt and I need to wear it on camera. Which is exactly what inspired me to make this video. But I've been leaning into the colors more. I've been leaning into how they make me feel. I've been leaning into crazy combinations. I've been leaning into the music I used to listen to as a teenager. Going back and listening to all the lo-fi music from back in 2017 when we were all trying to be like the art ho girls with the Kunken backpack and everything. That person, wow, I can actually be that version of myself just like almost 10 years later now. And that's why today I went to the vintage store again and I got this sweater. I'm so excited. And you can tell by the excitement that I have about the clothes that I have. I have this Lacoste sweater, it's so cute. And I have my Juicy Couture orange. I have my Tyler the Creator t-shirts, because what I was trying to say is that you can tell by my enthusiasm that this is something that brings me energy. This is something that brings me joy. This is something that makes me a happier version of myself. Why the heck am I not doing it then? Well, I'm letting myself do it now, and I'm letting myself experiment. I'm letting myself have fun. I'm a big Tyler the Creator fan. If you hadn't already clocked that, I was in LA in 2000. I've been to LA many, many times, but I went to LA like as an 18-year-old in 2019, and I just remember Igor just came out and it was like a magical summer. When you dress in a way that represents your old self a little bit, you also tap into those memories and you tap into how it feels to be the version of yourself who has that giddiness of being the teenager, the giddiness of being a child, who's just expressing yourself in a way that is taking you towards greatness. And I am for sure going to always change my style, because I am a big believer in that you sometimes have to let your old self go in order to create your higher true self. Like, you have to let your true self go. And I thought for many, many years that streetwear was my true self and that's the only thing that I'm ever going to do. But I was holding on to that with resentment. I was holding on to it like I'm never going to be whole without it. I'm whole without my clothes. I'm whole when I'm naked. I'm whole. I'm a whole person. But I didn't get to see that until I let it go and I started dressing in black and white and I was boring. I didn't get to see that. I didn't get to see how whole I could be until I let it all go. And the law of attraction states that whatever is yours will come to you. You just have to have faith in that. And all of this came to me. All of this came to me, and I'm so blessed about that. That lets me know that my intuition is always right. My intuition leads me to where I need to go. And that the universe always got me. The universe is, I'm its child. And when I lean into dressing a little funny and having fun with it, I'm really understanding that when I tapped into the wholeness of myself, I healed myself, and now I'm letting the inner child roam free because it's safe. The inner child will bring me miracles, because I said to the inner child, you don't have to worry about all of the bad things anymore. I have you, I've got you. Roam free. What are you going to do? And the inner child ran away and it spent a bunch of money on clothes. But anyways, this is how you can heal your inner child, by using the way you dress. And I hope you're being a little inspired, and let me know in the comment section if you like this type of video, and I might do more fashion videos in the future. I love you so much. Bye.